Hari Om, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the open house session today. Thanks for taking time to join us for the short presentation. My name is Mani Jagdish, and I'm the director for Chinmaya Somnath chapter. We have two wonderful speakers today who are going to share some very valuable information about the Chinmaya mission. Medha Bhagwat-ji, our Balavihar director, and Vedanta teacher will share details about the Balavihar program. And Sudha Bajji is one of our very senior sevaks, and she's going to talk about the mission itself and several other programs. I would request, at least for the first portion of the presentation, until the presentation starts, keep the video on so that we all can see you. Also, it is our tradition to start our programs with the prayers. So I'm going to request Medhaji to start us off with prayers. Medhaji.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, Medhaji. Sudhaji, you can start your presentation.
Hari Om, everyone. I really understand that being on video is a hard thing. Trust me, I know. But sometimes when we are talking, it's great to see you all, and that's why we were talking about the video. So if you don't mind, it'll be great to see you when I'm talking. With that, I'll get started. Welcome. We are having this open house. This is virtual, so we can talk about it. We do have the presentation is going to, this is our agenda. We'll be talking about Chinmaya Mission, our teachers, our Guru Parampara, all of those. So speaking about Chinmaya Mission, how many of you know what Chinmaya Mission is? Just a hand, you can show the virtual hands as well. Okay, few of you, that's good. So Chinmaya Mission was established in 1953 in India, but now it is a worldwide organization. We have over 300 centers, almost 50 of them in North America, we have currently we have about 1,800 Balavihar attendees, but there are quite a few of us alumni, and we have some of our kids who have went through the program. So it's a big family. There's a wide variety of activities which happens as well. Our motto is to give maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. Well, we are all about maximum, right? It's about happiness, it's about all the people, it's about time. And we give that to any individual from any background through the wisdom of Vedanta and the practical means where we can apply Vedanta in our lives. So it's about self improvement. We do have a strong Guru Parampara, starting from Adi Shankara to Tapovan Maharaj, our Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. Their Chinmaya Mission was started at first, and Guruji Swami Tejavananda, and currently our head of Chinmaya Mission is Swami Sarupananda, and he would be visiting here sometime during the Labor Day weekend to the Chinmaya Somnath, and there is a family camp. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out for the Labor Day weekend as well. We do have Vedanta teachers here in the CMWRC as well. Swami Dhirananda was the last disciple directed by the Puja Gurudev. He is the resident Vedanta teacher for the CMWRC. And we have Vijayji, Medhaji here with us as well. Arvindji, Satyaji, Sukanyaji, there's wide lot of folks. And all of them have gone through very hard training, very much training, to be able to be the Vedanta teachers to help us apply those Vedanta learnings. Now, you may wonder, what is the age group for Chinmaya Mission? Well, if you look at it, it starts before 3.5 years, before the kid even knows who he or she is, right? Like before they can comprehend and talk, but before even their memory starts, we have Shishu Vihar, which is less than 3.5 years. Then we have Madhuram. Then we have Amrita Vihar for kids who are differently able. We have Chinmaya Mission, which is, and then we have Chik, which is Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. After you graduate from the Bala Vihar, you still can be involved in Chinmaya for 18 to 25 years. And then we have Setukaris, which is 25 to 45. So if you look at it, it's from almost when you're born till whenever you choose to, right? So it's a lot, it's the whole age group is covered. Now you'll say, what do you do? How what is happening in there with all of these things, right? There's personal development, there's definitely mental development, a lot of yajnas and spiritual talks, giving back to the community, devotional programs, fun activities, you name it, everything is involved if you are as part of a Chinmaya Mission family. So that's just the background of Chinmaya Mission. I'll now invite Medhaji to talk through the Bala Vihar program in specific. She is our Bala Vihar director, and she's a Vedanta teacher as well, as you see. So welcome, Medhaji.
Hari Om, welcome everyone. And as Sudhaji mentioned, may I request to have cameras on? I know as she mentioned, it's sometimes it's difficult to turn on, but I like to see the faces at least once, and then you can turn it off if you want. If you get bored, you can turn it off immediately also. But I would like to see the faces. That's my request. I cannot talk to the names. I want to talk to the faces. Thank you so much. Some of you have agreed. All right. So I am Medha Bhagwat, and I am one of the teachers over here. Hari Om, Sushma, Hari Om. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to talk about why there is a need for Bal Vihar. Why one should join Bal Vihar, what is a need. And this is based on from two different angles. One is I am or was a Bal Vihar teacher since 1995. So I've been teaching Bal Vihar since then. So through my experience as a Bal Vihar teacher, and also through the experience of the students who are now graduated from Bal Vihar, and they come back and they bring their own children now to Bal Vihar. So we have been talking to them, what inspired you to bring your children now? So based on these two aspects, I'm going to describe 4 different points. One is, what is the need of Bal Vihar here in US now? Number 1. Number 2, what is Bal Vihar? When we call Bal Vihar, what does that mean? What is the aim of Bal Vihar? Then I will talk about what is a curriculum as age-based curriculum that we teach. And lastly, how do we measure the impact of Bal Vihar? Is there any yardstick to measure the impact? So these are the 4 different points I want to cover. So first one is, what is a need now? So let's go back in the ancient times. In the long ago, earlier times, there used to be Gurukul system. So children will go at the age of 5, they will go to Gurukul, stay with the Guru in the ashram, whether rich, poor, whatever background, they would be treated equally. And so they would be given vocational training, different in aspects they would work and earn later on. Okay, so vocational training was given. But most importantly, they were taught different values, how to live life, how to live successful life morally and ethically, and how to be a contributing member to the society. So a strong foundation was created based on different values. And after this graduation, suppose once they graduate after 12 years of training, there used to be a convocation ceremony. And similarly, we also do at Chinmaya Mission after those children who graduate from Bal Vihar, we also do Tilak ceremony as our Swamiji is doing it over here. During that convocation ceremony, the children from the Gurukul, they were given the guidance how to live life now. And one of the guidance was they should go out in the society, earn money, serve the society. And also they were told there would be tough times in life. Life is not easy. There would be problems. How to face the problems. They should respect everyone. And in case of difficulties, they should consult wise and knowledgeable people. Because in that Gurukul also, even all different values were given. Everything cannot be taught just by classroom teaching. So life teaches us, gives us experience, and through that also we learn a lot. So in case of difficulty, I don't know what to do, they were guided to consult wise and knowledgeable people. Okay, that was in Gurukul time. Now fast forward. No more Gurukul system. But later on in India, as you would see, we had an extended family. We learned through what we call osmosis, through our aunts, uncles, parents, teachers. So not only classroom learning, but all these values and festivals and culture and everything that we learn through osmosis, just living in the extended family. Now, fast forward further. There is no more extended family also. We are now a nuclear family, especially now in this country. It's very difficult to see very extended family. So we are not learning through that osmosis also. So everything falls on parents now. And parents have a responsibility. And as it is said, that parents work as a gardener. They are providing the protection as well as they are providing nourishment to the children. So small seedling, when it is growing, what a gardener does, it provides it protection and also gives nourishment so that this plant will grow. Whatever seed has come, through that seed, protection is given and the nourishment is given to develop that seed into a nice plant. Okay, but same way, parents' role is there. We provide protection to children, all physical, emotional, financial, everything. And also we give nourishment through different values. So everything now falls on parents. What was done in Gurukul earlier, what was done through the extended family earlier. So now it is on our shoulders. And we know it is very difficult. So I will tell you one example, real example that I have seen. In the next slide, I have the picture over there. Someone had asked our Gurudev, Swamiji, Swami Chinmayananda, who founded Chinmaya Mission. In this country, back in the early 90s, I have seen a young mother asked, how do I raise my child in this country? In India, there were aunts, uncles, grandparents around. And now I feel kind of lost and I feel a pressure. How do I bring up my child in this country? So Gurudev, I remembered I had seen this myself, took his hand, did it to like this to this young mother and said, you are doing fine. You are taking your child to Bal Vihar. He would be just fine. He will learn through Bal Vihar what extended family taught, what Gurukul system taught earlier. So that's what his advice or his consolation to this young mother was. So that's why there is a need of Bal Vihar, which earlier Gurukul system or extended family did. And we do provide an extended family here, as Sudhaji also would mention a little later. So now, after this little need for Bal Vihar, as I explained, second point, what is Bal Vihar? How do we say what is Bal Vihar? So Bala means a child, and Vihar is the platform that we are providing for the unfoldment of hidden talent and potential in the child. In the seed, whatever the potential is there, to unfold that potential. Sometimes as parents, we want our child to develop into something that we have an idea of. But whatever that seed has brought, only that into it will develop into that plant. Orange seed will give orange only. Mango seed will give mango only. Our job as a parent is to nourish, give them all these different values so that their hidden talent and potential is developed. So that's what we try to do at Bal Vihar. In the next slide, we have the aim for the Bal Vihar. So what is the aim of the Bal Vihar and what is the mission statement for Bal Vihar? So aim of the Bal Vihar is to help our children bloom, grow, and inculcate values, most importantly, through fun-filled activities. Not just one way, like a lecture kind of a thing. There are lots of activities involved. At small children, there would be arts and craft and stories and various games. And as the children grow into 6, 7, 8, 9 grades, there will be a lot of discussion involved, role play involved. So through different fun-filled activities, all these values would be inculcated. And the mission statement for Bal Vihar is to help children learn values with fun, for sure, so that they delight like the moon and they shine like the sun. That is the aim and goal for the Bal Vihar. So second point kind of I have covered. What was the first one? What is the need for the Bal Vihar? Gurukul covered, extended family, we don't have that anymore. So Chinmaya Mission Bal Vihar will fulfill that need. What is the aim? We inculcate values through fun-filled activities so that they shine and then their hidden potential comes out. That's the second point. Third point I will say now, so Bal Vihar now over here enhances development of the child at all different levels: physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Through our current school system, physical part is taken care. Intellectual part is also taken care. All this math, science, everything that is taught. But what is lacking is emotional development, emotional support, and also spiritual development. So our goal is to develop the strong personality. They know what is their culture. They know the values. There's a strong foundation, as our Gurudev says, to withstand the pressure of life. Strong spiritual stamina is necessary. And that's what we provide to the children. They know who they are. They are not carried away by peer pressure or anything afterwards. They are very strong in their mental capacities and also spiritual capacities. Intellectual and physical is taken care in normal school system. This would be the additional one over here. So that's the highlight of Bal Vihar. And so how do we do that? Next point for me is the curriculum. So it is a very well-developed curriculum for all different ages, starting from what we call Shishu Vihar, which is children below 3 years, through different stories, songs, and games based on different festivals. So we will begin with Ganesha. Then we'll begin with 3 Devis as Navratris come. So accordingly, as the festivals are, we'll cover different God-based stories, and not just stories. There would be songs, there would be dance, there would be games. Same theme goes further for children pre-kindergarten, 3 to 5 years, what we call Madhuram. But of course, activities, stories would be at a slightly different level than for Shishu Vihar. A slightly higher level games would be there. Then we come to kindergarten and the first grade. This year, our curriculum is alphabet safari. Different values through alphabets, not A for apple, B for brotherhood, as A, B for boy, but it would be A for aspiration, A for different ambition, B for brotherhood, C for something. So alphabets is taught through alphabets, different values are taught. Again, each class will have some activity involved. So that's for kindergarten, first grade. Second and third, Superman Hanuman, how to be strong like Hanumanji, mentally and physically. Okay, and then 4th and 5th graders will learn about Krishna and different gurus. Up to here, up to 5th grade, most of the classes will have several arts and crafts and small games and different topic each day, each class, whatever would be the main topic of the day. As children go into the 6th grade onwards, more discussion will get involved. So now 6th and 7th graders, we have symbolism in Hinduism. What is the symbolism of Ganesha? Why big ears? Why trunk? Why big belly? All those symbolism would be explained. Ganesha, different gods like Shiva, Krishna, all different gods, different festivals, symbolism behind that would be explained. Not just as our parents told, you just pray Ganesha, okay, we prayed. But these kids have questions. Many a times we don't have answers. I myself went through it. So this class would cover symbolism in Hinduism. Next, 8th and 9th graders, Mahabharata. Yato dharma tato jayaha. Wherever righteousness is followed, there only victory would be there. And that victory would lead to peace. Sometimes, seemingly, you will get a success if you cut corners, but that won't lead to peace. That won't lead to happiness. So how to be successful and how to be happy and how to be contributing member to the society through this Mahabharata stories are taught. And then 10th, 11th, 12th graders, we take them to Bhagavad Gita chapters 1 to 9. Beginning with, why study Bhagavad Gita? Is it relevant in these days? Arjuna studied, Arjuna heard about it so many years back on the battlefield. I'm not on the battlefield. I'm living this life over here. Why should I study Bhagavad Gita? How it is useful to me? Starting from that, they will go up to the 9th chapter. Next year, they will learn 10th chapter to 18 chapters. So this is the overall curriculum for Bal Vihar. I'm keeping track of time. I should not go beyond my limit. Then we also have Amrita Vihar. This is for children who are differently able. So there is a slightly different tailored program for these children who are differently able to come together for social interaction, spiritual growth, and learning. And the plan and the activities are different for them. So as I say in the next point, these children are introduced to stories, taught how to chant shlokas, sing bhajans through art and craft activities, but we have specially trained teachers for these special or differently able children. So they teach this class. Last year we started it. It was very successful. So this year also will continue Amrita Vihar. So I have covered 3 points so far. A quiz, what I have covered so far. 1, what is the need for Bal Vihar? Why you should bring your children to Bal Vihar? Anyone remembers? Earlier Gurukul system, extended family, that's no more. So children, nuclear family, they should have their own strong cultural and spiritual foundation. That's what Chinmaya Mission will provide through Bal Vihar. Number 2 is, what is Bal Vihar? What is the aim of Bal Vihar? Then I covered what is curriculum for Bal Vihar. And lastly now, how do we, through how this can be done is we provide a platform to grow the hidden potential. There is an extended family and friends. That's a big support that they have. Many children who have graduated, they come back to mission saying, I feel at home when I come back to mission. I feel very calm, and I'm not making this up. Sincerely, I'm telling this from what the children have said. They feel that they are at home. Everyone is uncle and aunts around for them. And we take care of each other very well. We celebrate various festivals. There is a cultural understanding. And also the children develop confidence, respect. They develop, they know how to handle peer pressure in life. They don't get carried away. While they are at home, it's okay. But when they're on their own in the college, that's where all this will show up. How to make right decisions, how to face tough situations in life, how to think. And next one, what is the impact, as I'm showing the next slide, impact of this Bal Vihar won't be seen immediately. Like it is recommended when you sow a seed, don't go and try to open it immediately. Is it growing seeds? Is it growing root? Is it growing root? Then you are not letting it grow. Let it grow, you will see the impact. Same way, these children, you may not see immediately, but they are absorbing like a sponge. And from the experience of my own Bal Vihar students, I have seen when they're on their own, all these, whatever they have absorbed, it comes into practice. I will give just one example and then I will stop. Then I will hand it over back to Sudhaji. This is again real life example. One student who had graduated, I gave same example when I gave a talk in graduation ceremony this year. He was appearing for an exam afterwards, after graduating from Bal Vihar, and he was very anxious because that examination would decide whether he could get into a particular career or not. And he was very anxious. Then he said, I remembered my Bal Vihar teacher had said, you have only write on your action what you can do. You cannot decide the result. You do your best, leave the rest. So he said, I will try my best and let me see whatever result comes. And sure enough, he excelled in that exam. But this comes out when they are practicing on their own. So impact will be seen. And some of these our students have recorded their understanding and their responses to different questions such as, where do I go for advice? What did I find in Bal Vihar? So you can go to our Chinmaya Mission YouTube channel and listen to CMWRC Bal Vihar question and answer with our teens. These interviews are unscripted. So I have covered 4 points. What is the need of Bal Vihar? What is Bal Vihar? What do we cover in Bal Vihar? And lastly, what is the impact? How these children develop on their own and how they would practice in their life. If you have any questions, I would be around afterwards, but I will give to Sudhaji right now, and then I can take questions. Hari Om, and thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Vedaji. Now that you know why we need to be in Bal Vihar, I can speak for myself. I have 2 kids. One of them graduated from Bal Vihar. She's in university now, rising junior, and she either keeps in touch with all her Bal Vihar friends, whether it's a text. I get to hear about all of those kids, which, I have seen them from the time they grew up, from the time they were baby. My daughter started when she was in kindergarten with Bal Vihar. She keeps in touch with all of them. She knows how they're doing. If they are sad, they're angry, they're happy, all of it, right? So and none of them are all in the same college either. They're all over the country in different colleges, different schools. That doesn't stop them from reaching out to each other and having that support system. If not for Bal Vihar, I don't think my daughter would have had it, because we are the first generation here. I don't have any family here. Same with my husband's family. So we didn't have any, uncles and aunts here. But my kids have more uncles and aunts than they would ever have in India now, right? Because Bal Vihar, right? So you would be wondering, hey, what's the eligibility and what's the structure of Bal Vihar, right? As Mehtaji said, children of age groups from infant to 12th grade can be in Bal Vihar. Classes are assigned by grade because each curriculum is by grade. So they have the same, they all are together at that age group and things. And class sizes are about 20 to 25. So if there are more kids, we'll have more classes versus less. So we are not having the one huge class of 100 kids and letting your kids go around, right? There are going to be teachers and all of that. And it is run by trained volunteers. None of us who are teaching, all of us are volunteer. We're doing it because we love it. We see the impact on it with our kids. And we are all trained. So we have summer training, we have training all throughout the year. So we teach the right things to our kids. There are 3 sessions, Friday and Sunday morning, which are both in person. The Sunday afternoon session is online. So you have different options to do. If you go to the Chinmaya website now, you should be able to register. The first class starts in September 16th, Friday. After the Labor Day, you have had a time to breathe. By that time, your kids are happy and settled in their schools. So Balivihar would be a new start. And more information is on Chinmaya Somnath website. And as Mehtaji said, we teach about Sanatana Dharma, teach about scriptures. Then, is it one God or 100 gods? The symbolism of Hinduism specifically tells them how to talk about it. How do we have that conversation with your friends or teachers or school, your peers? Teach about the stories. What is the meaning of those stories? And we come from a rich culture. India has so many cultural things, and it is a basis for our characters, right? So all of those are taught in the class, and it is open to all. And so, we have Vedanta classes, which happens on a regular basis, and anybody can attend, not just the Balivihar families who are registered as well. So it is a Balivihar program. There is a pledge structure associated with it, the annual pledge. And for folks with no children, have to pay 500, and if you have one child registering for Balivihar, it will be 800. All pledges are tax deductible. And there is also like shloka classes, enrichment classes, art classes. There's quite a few different classes. You can look at our website and see all of those information. And the registration in here. And if you do register before August 31st, you can pay in installment for 5 installments. And you can take advantage of it if you do register before end of this month. I just wanted to bring that up. And this year, we also have eligibility for, there is a referral program. So if you and a friend of yours want to register, once you register, you will get the information about the referral program, which you can send it to your friend and they can join as well. So there is a referral program just for this year if you want to take advantage of it as well. Now, we talked about Balavihar, we talked about Chinmaya, and I keep talking about it's not just about Balavihar, it's not about this thing, it is a full encompassing program. We also have something called Chinmaya Blossom. Just in 21-22, we, just the last year, because now we are getting into 22-23 school year, right? We have, our kindergarten program, if you would, which is rooted in our traditions. The kids, they have yoga classes as part of their curriculum. They have, they are learning the physical and intellectual aspect like math, science, whatever, at their age group. But they also have celebrate all our festival. How many kids can say in school they celebrate? So this is their school for young kids, right? So there's a kindergarten, which is or not kindergarten, like Montessori, like younger than kindergarten, where it's a preschool. So the kids can join there and they learn about in our culture. There's outdoor activities. So we also have something called Chinmaya Somnath Learning Center. Again, different vendors come here. They have culture classes, robotics, performing arts, classes throughout the week. So it's like one place shop, right? Like you have your spiritual things from the Balavihar and other classes. You can come to CLC. If you're young kids, they can join Blossoms. Now, just to summarize, right? We keep talking about, so if for one individual to be successful, they need to have the family support, the environment, or the thing to live on, right? Like our lifestyle, our academic learning, spiritual learning, community, fun. Without all of those things, a person cannot reach their full potential. And as we already talked about, we do have all of those pieces covered in Chinmaya one way or the other. So this is about the Balavihar, Shishu Vihar, Amrita Vihar, which is all about the kids, the spiritual aspect of things. We have yajnas and, about the intellect. It also covers the intellectual, but actually how to live your life. What is it that you have to do in your life to be successful? So these talks rooted on the spiritual texts and subjects gives us that information, so we can apply it in our lives. We celebrate festivals. We had little Krishnas and Radhas in celebrating uh, uh, Krishnashtami last year. We had about 50 families or so participate. It was just beautiful to see it. When I was growing up in India, I always used to see it every Ashtami, and I never had that here, and I see it now. We have Dandiya during Navratri. Every day we had puja. We had Ganesha festival with a lot of activities. There was drawing competition on my Ganesha. There was cooking on, who can make different types of modakas. Believe it or not, different folks make modakas different ways. Depends on where you are from. We had Rangoli competition. So you will see some of these pictures. And if you see, adults and kids participated in these competitions. It was not for one or the other. Age was no bar. You participate, you have fun. We had Mahashivratri, all 4 kalas of puja. So, it's and for Diwali, how can I forget Diwali, right? There was sweet distribution between family members. There was Lakshmi Puja. It's just a beautiful way of celebrating all of the festivals we used to celebrate before, and now it became just the family celebrating, but it's now a larger family similar to what we could celebrate. So this is just now, if you're looking at for, what do you do for other things? We had veterans come and talk to our kids during Veterans Day. We have Annapurna, where there is yummy, yummy food, if you can look at it. We had career guidance sessions for high schoolers. We had food drive. We are considered a platinum supporter for the Dallas South Food Pantry. We have Vanaprastha, which is about graceful aging, which anybody can participate. So it's just a whole level of activities which is there, so and we had Bhagavad Gita chanting competition, right? We have over almost 300 kids or 300 people participate, I should say, those kids, adults, all age groups. We had judges judging it. We had different categories. We had trophy distribution. It's just amazing to see kids. I speak for kids because most of the kids are born and brought up here with so much clarity in Sanskrit pronunciation. It's just amazing, just to listen to it, right? I may not even have that clear pronunciation, but the kids here who have never learned Sanskrit other than through Balavihar shlokas and things, chant it so beautifully, so clearly. Now, we also had interfaith activities. Some of us are part of that as well. We had Mahashivratri event where we shared with the different community, had exchange of thought with Baha'i community. We do a lot of things. We also go to schools and talk about the Hindu community if we are invited as well, right? That has to be by invited teachers. So if a history teacher would like during their world religion classes for us to come talk to the kids about Hinduism, we do. You just need to let us know, and we'll be happy to go have that conversation. And I will say from my own kids example, kids say, and sometimes those kids call back afterwards to say, hey, Ms. Hud, or whoever, the teacher who was there, how do I do this? And, can you speak more about this aspect of it or that aspect of Hinduism, which is just a way of engaging with the community, throwing out those myths about Hinduism, which exist out there. So there's a lot of activities which is happening there as well. It's about outreach, and we have had Unity Walk, which went from the Maryland chapter, started from Maryland a couple of years ago. So quite a lot of things. We also had Hindu spiritual care. Here, as Medhaji was saying, we don't have the extended family other than the people who became family because you are here. So Hindu spiritual care is like, in there's a notion of chaplaincy, but this is rooted in Sanatan Dharma. It's fully confidential according to the chaplaincy standard, professional chaplaincy standards. Most of the people there are quite a few people in Chinmaya or in CMWRC who got trained in this, and the training is recognized by both the Professional Chaplaincy and the North American Hindu Chaplains Association. And Chinmaya is credited to provide spiritual care services to the military organization. So that's the new one. I know spiritual care is new for Hindus, so I just want to say it is not a traditional religious service. It's not about teaching spirituality, or it's not, yagna. It's yagna for us, and it's not medical psychological or psychiatric care. So let folks know if that's what they need. This is just the caregiver being there for somebody as a friend to listen to, so that you can gain the strength and balance you need. And just to cover, I talked about the specific pujas, but that's not it, right? We have Pradosh Puja twice a month. We have Kartik Somvar Puja. So we celebrate Shankara Jayanti. We have, so we have too many lot of spiritual activities. So these are just few samples of it, just so that you get the feel for it. And we also have personal development for your lifestyle, right? You have youth leadership program. Kids have put up so many other programs with the youth leadership team. We have Toastmasters. We have different study groups. We have yoga class. We have meditation. You can volunteer. You can teach. There's just enough opportunities to just, which way you want. There's so many opportunities to grow ourselves, give back to the society, and be a better human altogether. So with that, that's pretty much the presentation. And sometimes I have had the question, like, where does the sevaks get the energy? And I have to say, it's all great, right? Because he said, a serene mind is a mountain of strength. And we all have that strength in ourselves. And our kids have it too. Just a question of how do we tap into that potential, which we all have. We have, our kids have. It's just how do we tap into it. So that's kind of like the presentation. I know I see a couple of hands up, and I don't know if there is any in the chat, but I will stop sharing so we can see everybody and folks can ask questions and we can go from there.
Okay. So there is a repeat of this session, which is going to happen on August 27th. Even if you don't participate for the presentation section, I want to invite you to our center. I mean, this would be the most serene building that you would get into in the Fairfax County. So just come and see. There is more than one reason for you to come to the facility on August 27th. We'll do a full walkthrough of the facility. I mean, even if you are going to join online session for the Balavigar program, it's important for you to come and see the facility. Not only the facility, on that day we are going to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. As Sudhaji talked about, there will be children dressed in costumes. It's a good social event. You would get to see a lot of existing members from the mission. So please do consider that August 27th.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.